No use, no juice.
Hey.
Okay, I was going to use that, but then I saw your tweet and I went, I'm not gonna do that because yeah.
I'm just glad that your brain went where my brain went with
Totally. Because there is a character, the villain in this freaking episode. You immediately go, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. And I was gonna do that. I was like, oh, I think I know what I'm gonna say at the beginning. And then when you tweeted out, I was like, see, great minds.
It really is insane. You gotta say, Dave and I have only been we're coming up on 10 years, man.
I know, it's like we're about to be a decade, isn't it?
God, it really is crazy.
Yeah, we're going on like
that we're coming up on a decade of friendship, and it's just oh my gosh.
It's crazy. The time flies, but at the same time, it's like, our brains are usually
well, because I'm only 1 year older than you, so it's like we have there's this term I hear like common culture, like we just grew up in like the same stuff. Yes. So our brains were molded by the exact same thing.
Yeah. So there's going to be things where immediately it triggers, like the voice of this freaking character and the fact that he's a large individual. Yes. It just was like, wait a minute. I think I know what they were going for. Yeah. VC. Yeah.
That's his non-supervillain name. Like that's his actual name as given to us in this episode. So
yes. But welcome to DC Fan-imated, everybody. Of course, I'm Dave the Film Junkie. With me as always, Mr. Scott McClellan. How's it going? What you got there? Some wine?
Oh no, this is sweet tea.
Oh, okay. Sweet tea, because you're so sweet.
I know. I'm so sweet and actually splendid tea, to be honest with you.
Splendid.
I can't. I always tell a story about tea. My mom, growing up, made sweet tea that to this day I just call it was liquid sugar. I mean, that's what it was. And then I went to college, and that tea tasted like shit.
No, of course.
I'm like, and so I stopped drinking it, and I now understand what a sugar addiction is, because I spent a week in what I will characterize as withdrawals from my mom's sweet tea, just to understand what sugar does to you.
Isn't that crazy?
And ever since then, now I know that like zero sugar drinks aren't great for you either. I know the artificial sweeteners are better. I get that, but I'm also saying that I have now reached this point where I can't even drink what I call fully leaded Coke.
Yeah.
It doesn't, that much sugar or the way it tastes like in sodas or thing doesn't taste good to me. Yeah. So like when I go to a restaurant that doesn't have diet sweet tea or Splenda tea, I just order half and half. It's just, pour half sweet, half unsweet.
Yeah.
I have to cut it with something because I just can't take it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's like that with coffee with people where, they have to have their goddamn, triple caramel, whatever the hell, mocha.
And I'm here drinking it black.
Oh, exactly. I'm like, and then when I make my coffee, I mean, I have like a little special blend, little French press thing that I do, but I'll put like a half a tablespoon of raw honey in it, just to add just a little bit, just a little
flavor,
and it's like, it's not overbearing. And hey, guess what? Honey's kind of good for you. Raw honey, good for you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Especially if you have allergies. Like get raw honey that's from your area, so that it's got the pollen
right out of a glass jar.
Yeah,
none of that stuff. No, out of a glass jar where I have to scoop it into my shit. So yeah, that's the kind of So that's just a little bit of But I remember, when I was younger, it was all about soda, and then you try to. I remember one time, I specifically remember this. I don't know what exactly if my mom went to the store and bought the wrong thing, but she bought waters, but she bought sparkling waters.
Oh yes. Okay.
So the first time I ever Drank that. I thought it was the most awful thing. I was like, ew. I literally have a bottle of sparkling water in my refrigerator. That's what I use for my drinks on the vodka stream. Sparkling water, I squeeze a little lemon in it, maybe for a little bit of something. But at the same time, the next day, like after the vodka stream, after I've, consumed a breakfast burrito or whatever, and I just need something bubbly, I drink that and I'm perfectly fine with it. But man, when I was a kid, I was like, what is this monstrosity?
Yes.
It's like, this is no flavor, all bubbles. But now I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll fuck with a sparkling water big time, I mean, same thing like with wine. I mean, I don't get the sweet wines. I get the Sauvignon or the Noir, and it's I like it. I don't like sweet wines.
Oh,
I mean, every now and again, maybe, but I like
that's why I don't do whites, because it's almost all sweet wine. And I'm just like, no, not for me.
Yeah, if I do a white one, I do the Pinot Grigio, which is very dry,
Ooh, okay. I need to try that. Of course, there's
Grigio. Yes, it's
dry. Of course, I can't help myself. My brother-in-law's husband, it was from San Diego, and he would talk about all the tennis wives and their Pinot Gris.
Yes. That's funny. Oh yeah, but give it a try. I mean, it's dry. It's got it's just like a hint. There's a little hint, but it's very low in sugar, and it's
okay.
You're not gonna get it's dry. It's funny too, because my mom and my brother, they've never gotten rid of their sweet tooths. Because anytime my mom really likes champagne, I like to get the dry stuff. She's like, nah, it's too dry, and I'm like, okay. She likes the rosé, the really the good, the stuff that has a little bit of sweetness to it. But I'm like, but it is kind of funny. But yeah, when you were a kid, I remember the first time I had coffee, I was like, what the hell is?
No, you didn't drink coffee as kids. We drank milk and sugar.
Yes.
With
that's what I had to do.
Coffee.
I had to do. I was like, the first time I had coffee, I remember I was spending the night at my friend's house, and he made like a pot of coffee. Never had coffee. This is like, I don't know, I was in fucking 8th grade or 9th grade, something like that. And I drank, I was like, oh, this is what my dad drinks every morning. Like, this is what my dad, because my dad was a black coffee drinker. And I was like, just
your dad was Army. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But like I said, it's funny because like anytime we go out, like my brother, he'll be like, don't fill it up full way, because the rest of the way he's putting in like creamer.
Oh,
because he just still has that sugar. Like,
no, I became a man long ago, and I learned how to drink black coffee. Thank you very much.
I know, right?
And you can tell your brother I said that, by the way.
Yeah, no, we give him shit. We give him shit all the time. The guy still puts A1 sauce on his steaks, for fuck's sake.
Oh.
Yes, I know. We give him shit about it all the time.
Oh my, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What happened to your brother?
I don't know.
Where did he go so wrong?
You know what? I had this conversation with my dad not too long ago. I was like, why is he so picky? He's such a picky eater. It's like, yeah, where'd that come from? I'm like, well, I don't know. So yeah, he's a picky one. And yeah,
God.
I mean, there'll be sometimes if he goes to like a good steak restaurant where it's like really good, like, they prepared it very well, he won't touch the A1 sauce, which is like, whoa, good for you. But if it's not like Class A steakhouse, motherfucker is, can I get some A1 sauce? Like, oh yeah, terrible. Anyways, enough about food and drink right now. And
well, I mean, it kind of works for the villain in this episode.
Kind of does a little bit.
Kind of does.
Yeah, but we got an interesting one. But first I did, because I saw your shirt before we got on, and I was like, what is that shirt? No, we'll save it for the show. And I was like, what is going on with that shirt right there? It looks interesting. I see and I'm like,
oxymoron.
Okay.
Okay. So there's this independent comic book publisher that really got popular, basically got their start on Kickstarter.
Okay.
But parlayed their success on, they still do Kickstarters, like, because they'll do Kickstarters for, like, getting the issues first before they get in the comic book stores, or to get exclusive hardcovers. Like, you can buy their books. The publisher's name is Comics Tribe, Comixtribe. And actually, the publisher follows me on X, and I follow him, and because I've literally backed so many of their Kickstarters, so much so that one of their actually the longest ongoing series I've appeared in. I think I talked about this when we interviewed Ernie.
Yes,
but I played a murderous clown in their series Sink, which is about the dark underbelly of Glasgow, Scotland. And there's this whole folklore about guys in clown masks driving around in a van. And so there's an issue, I think it's issue number 7. I'm one of the clowns at the beginning of the comic because I paid to be in it. And I think I actually know they also do a teenage superhero series that I just backed. So I think when issue 5 or something comes out, I'm going to be a supervillain in the, like, I even got to design my backstory and my costume.
That's awesome.
And so I gave them like general ideas, but so I'm really looking forward to seeing like how they transform me into, like, I've done this so much that the publisher personally texted me. It was like, we don't need pictures from you. We have your picture. We've got your pictures.
That's awesome.
We know what you look like. So they have one of the first books they did, it was written by the publisher, was something called The Red 10. And it was a superhero version of Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. Do you know that novel?
I've heard of it, but I never read it.
Okay, so if you've ever seen the story where a whole bunch of people get invited to an island by some rich benefactor, and then they all realize they have dark secrets, and then they each die off one by one. That's what, and then there were none, because basically you spend the entire book trying to guess who the murderer is as the suspects die off. Like, and so they did that, but with superheroes dying off. And the supervillain in this universe was it was their version of the Joker called Oxymoron. Of course, an oxymoron being, two words that
are opposite, like jumbo shrimp.
Like jumbo shrimp, military intelligence.
We're just quoting George Carlin right now.
Exactly. Those are oxymorons.
Yeah. Mandatory overtime.
No. Mandatory overtime, right? So that's who this guy is. He's the Joker of their superhero universe, but he's so popular that he actually gets. Spoiler alert, but for the Red 10, he's the first guy who dies.
Gotcha.
Like, he's found dead, and so then it's left, well, who killed him? And then each issue a different superhero dies. Well, he was such a popular character that then they end up writing oxymoron centric titles. And so the last time they did an oxymoron book on Kickstarter, they had t-shirt options, so I got this Scarface.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's
homage.
Scarface-esque. Yeah.
Well, no, it's intentionally a Scarface homage for oxymoron. So that's the shirt I'm wearing. Actually, truth be told, this is the first time I've worn the shirt.
I was about to say, I've never seen you wear that shirt.
Well,
that's why I was so like, what is that supposed to be? Yeah.
So it's oxymoron, but done as a Scarface homage.
That's really cool.
So check them out on Kickstarter. Like I said, they're called Comics Tribe. You can order their books. They have a website, and you can order back issues and trade paperbacks. And you can also get their books. Even the Kickstarter books will show up in your comic book store. Because I remember that issue of Sync that I showed up in. I, of course, got all the books from the Kickstarter, but then I was actually able to put on my pull list and got an issue from my comic book store. So
that's freaking awesome. Well, that's cool, man. Yeah, check those out. I'll have to check that out too. It's always, like I said, what's awesome about modern times when it comes to just content creation. There's so much that people can do, and that's why, like, it's always trying to be welcoming on people who are like, creating comic books or just creating whatever the hell. It's always a lot of fun when that stuff happens, especially when they can get when it's all crowdfunding and you get the crowd interacting with it.
Oh yeah. And that's been the fun. So I've been doing this since like 2015. So it's been like 10 years with this comic book publisher, and I haven't backed every book, but there's definitely series that I'm just like, ooh, anything that's oxymoron, Sync, the Red 10, Epic is the teenage superhero. Actually, they had a long hiatus, and then a new issue. They did a Kickstarter for the new issue, and like it's like a seductress who makes her superpowers that she makes the superhero lose his powers when she seduces him. So it's like they have a lot of fun. They have a lot of fun stuff. So they really do have everything from all ages to R-rated genres, fantasy, superhero, horror, science fiction. So like there's even another book called Scam that was like Ocean's 11 but with superpowers,
Nice.
So they have just a lot. So like I said, and they're really interactive, and so I appreciate it. Really does feel like a comic book publisher that's like for the fans, because of, like you said, because of the crowdfunding aspect. It's very interactive, and I've enjoyed my part.
That's cool. No, that's really cool. So yeah, go ahead and check that out, guys, and support. Like I said, support independent content and everything. Like I said, it's just that's some of the stuff out there is just really, really good. And
well, and I think it's cool too because like even with Static, Milestone,
True.
yes, is incorporated from DC, but it really was an Image was like independent, and all these big names from the companies breaking off and doing their own thing. Milestone was veterans going, we see a need in the market for this, so let's create, in this case, predominantly Black characters. There's
a lack of that. So
there's a lack of that. There's a lack of Black characters, but then there's also a lack of creativity for the Black creators.
Exactly. So they created it, and that's what's good. And when it comes to this episode, like I said, they Heavy Sea, baby.
Heavy Sea, Slipstream.
Slipstream. Interesting name. I would have thought they would have went with Windstream, kind of thought, with his powers. Like, Windstream could have been a interesting one. But we get introduced to this guy who is a very large individual who basically just, walks up the tables at burger joints and just, starts grabbing people's fries and whatever.
Drinks and
he's just totally obnoxious. Obnoxious. Yeah. Absolutely obnoxious. And we got this group of 3 dudes, and they know who he is, and then they just kind of push back against him, like, what are you doing, man? And they fight back against him. They kind of knock him back. I mean, in this burger joint, it's kind of like it's not like you're
like Burger Fool. We've seen Burger Fool before.
That's where
Virgil got the job that he had for like one episode.
But I didn't realize, I'm like, this is kind of a fancier burger joint. It's got, I think it had like a little salad bar thing, maybe that I saw in the background. I thought I saw something like that in the background. I don't know. It just seemed fancier.
Okay.
Then you're like McDonald's or Burger King or shit like that, Even though it's kind of funny because I'm again tangent. Who was I talking about this with? I was talking about this over the weekend with a friend. I mean, have you noticed that there are like Burger King and Wendy's, and I was even watching videos. They are now realizing that, oh wow, our quality has gone down. When it comes to and because there's, again. Also, another good thing, going back to the whole independent content creation, is people just, when they find something out, and if you have really smart people that do that have their own YouTube channels, guess what? They're going to start digging in and being like, what's in the food? Oh, what was in your food back then? And what's in your food now? Oh, you guys were cutting corners. This is why people stopped coming to your restaurant. And it's very noticeable nowadays. And that's been happening with Burger King, with Wendy's. They like the CEOs are like releasing like, yeah, we realized kind of started slipping. We're going to focus on quality. It's like, all right.
That was really, go back to Cracker Barrel and that whole thing.
That whole thing. That lady got fired. She stepped down.
Yeah.
Who tried to change all that. It's like, why? It was working. I mean, yeah, people were getting a certain idea about it, but no, it's just people wanting to go get breakfast. It's like,
but they acknowledged, but the food quality
went down too.
Went down, yeah.
And that's happened with so many places, and then it gets more expensive, even though they're cutting corners, and then it's like, what then people are not going. I mean,
Yeah.
I rarely, I can't even remember the last time I went to a Wendy's.
I can. We spent a lot of the summer going to Wendy's only because they
Okay.
had some DC.
Frosties.
They had
Yeah.
some DC
Oh,
toys,
yeah.
and so I actually got to the point that I went to a really nice Wendy's where next to where I work, and I just walked up to them and I said, "Listen, my 5-year-old just wants Green Lantern. Do you have?" But the problem was that they were all sealed. You didn't know what you got until you opened it. And so this lady was so sweet. We opened 3 of them until we found a Green Lantern.
That's awesome.
And and all the ones we opened, she just went, keep them. Because
Yeah.
I got another Sinestro, and because it was John Stewart. And so they were called DC rides. And then we spent
That's
all
awesome.
summer trying to find,
I get that.
because Declan got Flash with the cosmic treadmill. We had a little girl from church find Wonder Woman in her invisible jet for Heather.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you're still doing that. That's what we did when we were younger. It was like, Mom, Dad, can I Batman Returns? I need all the freaking little car toys that are, I need the cups. let's get all the mugs for Batman.
Yeah, the Batman Forever.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. It's like,
King
can we go? Can we go? Because that was like such a big thing in the 80s and 90s when it came to movies or like heroes. I still remember there was like ones where they had Looney Tunes and the superhero cropped overs. Remember that? With like
I remember that one.
Donald
Of
Duck
course, I remember
like
the Back to the Future, Back to the Future Happy Meal toys.
Yes,
man, it was all about getting the DeLorean for me.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, man. So I mean, it's cool that you're still doing that in modern days. So that's awesome, because it's funny because on Sunday I spent the night at my friend's house because we had a big old celebration for my other friend who was in town. It was her 40th birthday. So naturally it got like, crazy. And I was like, I'm not driving. So I crashed there. And then I went to this local fast food place, walked in like a, normal human being. And I was like looking around and went, oh, a kiosk. No cashier. No cashier. Somebody said like, welcome to Baker's. They're called Bakers. It was like, welcome to Baker's. And then I was like, she walked off and I went, oh. So I just had to put my order in at the kiosk. I was like, wow.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either. I'm like, geez. I'm like, wow. I didn't know that they went full on kiosk here. Jeez. Yeah, it's a little weird. And they do that at McDonald's. I know you can
they do it at McDonald's. They do that at Dunkin'.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just weird because you're like, how often are they cleaning the screen?
I don't even think about that. I just hate the there's someone standing right there.
Yeah.
Why? What? Can I just walk up and like order my food?
Yeah.
So now, what was interesting about how the episode began with Big C, though, was you literally watch him discover his power.
It is interesting. It's like he just now discovers his power.
Right. Because the guys who are kind of beating him up because he stole their food go, dude, he's a bang baby. And he has this realization, I am a bang baby. So I think this goes back to, I cannot remember. I feel like we've had this discussion before, but it's this idea that, that the effects of the Big Bang were not instantaneous for everyone at the same time, that there's latent abilities that can pop up over time so that you can, for the purposes of a television series, you can have bang babies show up and be new characters because they might have been exposed to the gas, but that didn't mean that they immediately transformed. And so here's my theory. Entertain me for a minute.
Yes.
I'm starting to think, because clearly we've established that you didn't have to be at the dock where the Big Bang happened to get powers. So since the gas was aerosol, and I'm thinking about this also because Declan watched Batman Begins for the first time.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I'm thinking about like the Scarecrow toxin in Batman Begins and how they had to weaponize it through an aerosol form. So my headcanon or my theory is that the mutagen gas that that Alva's crew made, it dispersed beyond the dock so that other people in Dakota City got exposed. But I'm also thinking that maybe the further away they were, the less concentrated the gas was, which means there's a longer mutation
That makes
period
sense. Yeah.
for bang babies to develop. So
No, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, because obviously if you're right there at the epicenter of the whole thing, you get a
right,
heavy
they transformed like
boom. Yeah.
immediately.
But you get like a whiff a little bit later, just like a little bit, and then it just kind of lingers in and then it slowly starts
working.
Changing your cells and everything. So no, that's a good theory. I think that's a really good theory, to be honest. But yeah, so he figures that out. Obviously, he creates like a little, like a bunch of wind and like a little swirl of like almost like a tornado effect in a way.
See, here's the thing though. The way they animated him, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you're basically doing a red tornado.
Yeah, there you go. That makes sense. I didn't think about that. Yeah. So yeah, so then he even just like when he stops, he like and then we cut to Virg and Richie meeting at the junkyard, and we have some new I guess you could say some new little toys when it comes to Richie.
Okay, this is actually, I'm going to give Richie credit. This is an awesome idea.
Totally. And it's so funny because you go, oh yeah, this is going to play a factor later.
Right. And whenever he introduces something, like it's like, okay, this has to get used in this episode.
No. But it's going to be, but what's cool about this, because this episode is very much, this is that episode that you knew that this episode was coming because you have two best friends, and what always happens with two best friends, they end up going, we're not friends anymore because of
now that's also my criticism of this episode, but we'll get into that later. Let's talk about the cool gadget that Richie designs. Then we'll talk about my criticism of this episode.
That's fine. Like when it comes to, he's basically got these canisters or these, that basically static energy, like electricity, can be stored in it, and he calls them zap caps. So then if he's low on energy, he could whip these things out and throw them, and kind of,
and basically like grenades.
Yeah, it's like a grenade, but it just obviously shoots a burst of like electricity and everything. So good idea. But then, but even Virg is kind of like, whatever. We're already starting to get a sense that Virg is just kind of annoyed,
Right. Okay. And here's my criticism of the episode.
Okay.
Clearly Saturday morning, because this conflict needs to last as long as the episode lasts, because it's all going to be resolved by the end of the episode.
Of course.
But also there is no, here's where my personal annoyance with episodic television and why I do enjoy a more serialized nature of television is this conflict between Virgil and Richie comes out of flipping nowhere.
Comes out of nowhere. And Eric even brought up the good point where it's like he literally just helped repair Richie's relationship with his dad, and now this. And again, it is kind of bad timing, because yes, the last episode was, he just met Richie's dad. Dad was
racist dick.
And there was a whole thing that happened there, and then all of a sudden we get to this episode where now all of a sudden it's like Virg is annoyed. See, when I was watching it, I kind of went like, oh, we're getting that thing where Virgil's now feeling, I mean, I looked at it kind of like, okay, he's starting to feel the weight of, oh yeah, I'm a kid, and then I also got to do this thing, and then I'm tired of kind of being like this, because then you got Daisy, which of course he was crushing on, and he wants to be like, oh, I want to be more of, Virgil. I want to be more of it's kind of like that tropey thing where superheroes were and then you got Richie, who is just, he's not the hero, but he wants, he
wants to be. That's the thing. He wants to be. So he's getting what's that term? It's late. I'm blanking. but he's
And
living vicariously.
Vicariously, there you go.
He's living vicariously through Virgil, because
Yes.
Virgil's the hero. So Richie, by helping the hero, being the man in the chair or the sidekick,
Yes.
gives Richie the sense of being the hero.
Mhm.
And so he's all in, because he's also not the one who has to do the stuff.
Exactly. So I mean, yeah, it does come out of nowhere. Maybe they could have saved this for like a little later. I don't know.
Or
but,
at least had some build up to it.
Yeah, a little build up to it. But again, Saturday morning, and they're just going like, what's next? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously when we have that, and then Verge talks about, like, oh, I'm going to be working with Daisy, I'm working on debugging this whole thing. And Richie, you can tell Richie starts getting a little jealous because it's like, hey, I could have done that. And then, yeah,
why you hang out with a girl instead of your best friend?
Yeah, that whole thing, it's pretty tropey, where it's like, oh, here we go.
Best friend is feeling threatened by the girl that the friend likes, and yeah,
exactly. And then we cut to where they're in the lab, and because Richie basically is like trying to keep like kind of like a schedule, like, hey, we got to like meet here 5 o'clock, let's training, make sure like, you're sharp with your powers and everything. And then he was like, yeah, we got to meet at HQ. And even Verge, he even says like, you mean the gas station? It's like, even Verge is like, not even like, it's almost like he's just going, oh, this is kid stuff.
When else did he like feel all like down about the gas station?
It's because of the woman, Scott. He wants maybe
it's because of plot, Dave.
But plot,
because the plot needed it to happen, so thus it happened.
But then of course, Richie shows up, and it's like, hey, it's past 5 o'clock, what are we doing? And then of course Verge doesn't want to leave. Daisy's witnessing all this and going, what the hell? And then of course Richie just like, all right, fine, fuck it, leave. I'm just gonna leave. And he just leaves.
And he goes, and he takes his ball and goes home.
Yes. Where's that from?
Oh, that's always that joke about the kids. I'm going to take. You're always playing.
Like, go home. Yeah.
I'm going to take my ball and go home.
Yeah, go home. I just immediately went to South Park when he's like, "Screw you guys, I'm going home." Yeah, Cartman. And then of course we get to Verge at his house, and he's just listening to music, trying to just tune everything out. His sister comes in with his laundry, and she's trying to get his attention. He has just got his eyes closed. He's just in his own little world. And then finally he's like, yeah, you got to call. And then it turns out it's from Richie, and he called like 6 times. And this is where it's kind of funny, because then when she leaves, throws the laundry on him, all of a sudden Richie calls on the walkie-talkie.
Right. It's like,
so wait a minute. You have the direct communication, but yet you're still calling the house? That was a little bit of a weird thing.
That was weird. It felt like just a reason to get Sharon in the episode.
Yeah. You could be right. But when Richie calls, he's actually calling from a water park where something is actually happening. And this is where Heavy C has now turned himself fully into the villain that is. What was it again?
Slipstream.
It was what stream?
Slip.
Okay, slip. I, for some reason, did not catch it.
Or as I like to call it, Big Bad Fat Albert.
Yeah, because he talks like this.
He talks like Fat Albert.
He's the big guy who's like, hey. Yeah, so that's where we...
Which, by the way, if you guys are familiar, Fat Albert, being a cartoon series, had a big fat character who talked like this. So clearly, there is no doubt in my mind that the voice actor for Slipstream was making a choice.
Oh, totally. And they probably were like, yeah, go for it. Yeah, represent Fat Albert. Let's do it,
Which, once again, was a animated series that was, I believe, created or at least produced by Bill Cosby. So once again, another Black legacy, entertainment, kind of paying homage to the creators who came before. So, I mean, I get it. It was just weird because it was just, of course, the kids watching this episode would have no idea who Fat Albert is.
Very true. Very true. Unless, like, and it'd be funny because I'm sure that there was kids' parents that were watching this with them and went, hey,
wait a minute.
Wait a minute here. So yeah, so then Richie's there, and yeah, he's just causing all kinds of ruckus, and then I mean, basically what he's doing at first is just kind of just going, he's just fucking with people and trying to get food because he's a big fat kid. But and then of course he's
big fat person.
Yeah.
Big fat person.
Buffalo Bill.
I know.
That's so good. Oh, what's his name?
Ed Levine.
Ed Levine. There you go. I couldn't remember his name. Great big fat person. God, that guy's voice is just so good.
I'm so looking forward to the fact that the Criterion is releasing a 4K of that movie.
Ooh, there you go. Well,
yes.
So yeah, he's doing that, and then he's like, oh, I want a hot dog. You can't have a hot dog without sauerkraut. You know what's kind of interesting about sauerkraut?
What is it?
I love sauerkraut now.
I've always enjoyed sauerkraut on a hot dog.
I've never had it on a hot dog.
You never had it on a hot dog?
I've never had it on a hot dog. Honestly, like sauerkraut, I think one of the biggest reasons why people don't like sauerkraut is just because the word sauerkraut just sounds like it's gross. It's just cabbage, fermented cabbage.
It's fermented cabbage, yeah.
That's all it really is. And recently, like months ago, where I was like, oh yeah, I was hearing like, wow, sauerkraut's really good. It's good for your gut. It's really healthy. And I was like, you know what? I remember my boompa. He loved sauerkraut, but my mom not a fan of it, so she never passed it down to us. And then I was like, you know what? I was at the store one time. They had a thing of raw sauerkraut. I was like, fuck it. I think it's great. I literally made a chicken cheese guac burrito, put sauerkraut on it, wrapped it up just to add that little crunch. Delicious.
Dude, I swear, I need you to just cook for me.
Oh, dude, you would have loved this. I got these chicken tenders. I put on my.
What is it about this episode that all we're doing is talking about?
I know, food? I know exactly. Oh yeah, I was like, and that was like the added little thing, put a little Cholula on it.
But I'm going to challenge you now.
Okay.
Put sauerkraut on a hot dog, dude. I'm just saying.
I totally would. Like, I just never had the opportunity because I'm not one of those that's just like, oh yeah, ketchup and mustard. No, I like a little pickle relish. I like a little onion. I like a little onion on it.
Hey, you want to go with the piece de resistance? Like just I mean, this is not healthy at all, and I don't give a shit. But take the hot dog bun and put a slice of cheese on the bun before you put the hot dog in, because then the hot dog melts the cheese. Yes.
There you go. See, now you're talking. See, the only time I have a hot dog is when I go to a baseball game, so that's why I don't have hot dogs a lot. But if I have the opportunity, if there's sauerkraut in a hot dog, totally fucking do it.
See, what we do now is, because once again, since the pandemic, but we air fry our hot dogs.
Oh yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah, air fry is great. But yeah, when he said sauerkraut, I was like, oh, this is so funny because it's like kids watching this are like hearing that. I'm like, ew. And I'm like, yeah, even as a kid, I probably would have said the same thing, but my mom never gave it to us, even my dad. And I'm like, and then I'm realizing, wow, it sounds awful, sauerkraut. It doesn't sound like why would it?
I really need to look up. I really need to look up the German to know what.
Yeah, because it's German, right?
It's German.
Yeah, but it's just fermented cabbage.
It's just fermented cabbage. Okay,
and that's it.
Literally sour cabbage. That's literally
because
I love German. It's so literal.
That's so funny. That's so funny because it's like, I mean, it is interesting that that does make sense because it does have a sour. Like you smell it, you'll get that. But for some reason, the taste of it. Like I said, I've put that on so many things. I made like
I don't eat sauerkraut by itself, but it makes a wonderful garnish on something else.
Yeah, there'll be sometimes where I'll be like, oh yeah, before if I'm eating something, I'm like, you know what? I have a little bit of sauerkraut, get that in the gut, pretty good. I'm also big on kimchi now too. That's also really good. But a lot of things. I mean, shit, wine's fermented.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, fermented. That helps it. For sure. Like, I mean, we can go on and on and on like here, like, but I was just
But the
funny.
funny thing was that it was that Slipstream gets like a bucket of
Yes,
sauerkraut.
the sauerkraut was like, geez.
No, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, you're fermenting that kind of stuff. I was talking about this with my dad. I was like, essentially, like it can sit for a while because it's in
got
that
preservatives in it.
Yeah, it's got that stuff when it's, I don't know, it's a whole big thing. But so yeah, and then of course Virgil, like, or when it comes to Static, he goes, yeah, I hate sauerkraut, and then obviously they're fighting, and Static is not doing that great, and then Richie decides to get one of these cards that has like a shark on it, which looks like, damn, that would like scare kids if they were like at a water park, a big ass shark on the top of it. And then he just kind of drives it, does that whole thing of like barrel rolls out of it, and it hits the water slide that he's on, and that Slipstream is on, and then it just kind of takes the whole structure down.
Well, by the way, Slipstream just, I don't know, flies above it.
Yeah. He just kind of swirls away, and it's like, oops. And then even Static, as he's like looking up, he's like, oh shit, and he gets buried
underneath it. Yeah.
He gets buried underneath, and he even says that wasn't for the inner tubes, he probably would have, got crushed. So, but I mean, Richie was trying to help. Again, we're finding it. This is where we're finding out, like you said, Richie being the chair guy, and the fact that he's not the hero and wants to be the hero. He was like trying to be the hero right there. He was going like above and beyond, and being like, hey, I need to help him out. Maybe I'll just do this.
But he fucked up and did it. And then, of course, this is done specifically so they can continue in the episode to drive that wedge between Virgil and Richie, because Richie's screw up hurts Virgil, literally, because the structure that Richie crashes into collapses on Virgil and could have killed him.
Yes.
And that just continues. It's the convenience of the writing. Like, that's the thing that just bothers me. It's like,
there's too much. There's again, it's like you've seen it on sitcoms and stuff where it's just like, it just seems like, you always have like, I can think about like Family Matters. Eddie had Waldo, who's like his friend, and then there would be like an episode where Waldo is constantly screwing up, and it's just testing Eddie's nerves, or it could be like, Steve Urkel, or something like that. It's like you always had where it's like the best friend is now testing the main dude's like nerves, and then all of a sudden they have this like falling out kind of thing where they're going to just be like, oh, we're not going to be friends anymore.
And yet they all completely come back together by the end of the episode.
So, of course, of course, you got to have the resolution.
No problems that can't be solved in 22 minutes.
Yeah. So they kind of go at it, and I mean, it gets to a point where Virgil and him, like, after all this, they just kind of go at it when he's talking about like, yeah, you could have killed me if it wasn't for the inner tubes. And then just go at it. And then Richie just goes, you know what? I'm out. He just says, screw this. Screw you guys. I'm going home. He just says, I'm done. I think he even hands over the little walkie-talkie thing.
He does hand over the walkie-talkie.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm done. And then we cut to when they're in class. And this is that whole thing too. You've probably seen this before too, where like, they share a class, and usually, when the teacher wants to pair up, they usually are first like, hey, we're going to pair up.
Buddies. They're the partners.
Yes. But Virgil's like, Daisy, you want to be my friend? And even she's like, don't you usually? I mean, she's new here too. And she
right. Let's remember, she came from the other school.
Yeah. She's like fairly new, but she knows like, wait, you two are like, joined by the hip. What the hell? And then we see Richie find like just some random dude, and it's like, oh yeah. And then of course he says something like, finally I have a partner that can contribute, or something like that. He says something that, Virg hears, says it loud enough for Virgil will hear it. And then of course we get Daisy and Virgil going to a comic book shop, and because he doesn't have Richie now, so it's like, why not drag her to it? She's not about it.
She is not about it, but she's being a good sport about it. But it's clear that Virgil is trying to you know, he still wants to do the routine that he would do with Richie, and he doesn't want to do it by himself. So he tries to include
the girl that he likes.
The girl.
Yeah.
Right.
And who's in the comic shop when they walk in? Richie.
Well, by the second comic shop, because remember, apparently they hit 3 comic shops.
Yeah, they come out of the first one.
All right, sorry. Yeah. In what universe? Clearly this one. And in what universe do you have 3 comic book shops in the same? I'm just like, I'm lucky to find one.
Oh, dude, there's not one in my town. There is one in town over, and then if I have to go to another one, I'm going to have to drive about 38 minutes the other way. Yeah, there's not, I mean, but we are talking about 2026. It's a lot harder now, but not even in 19 or 2000. Whatever.
No, not even in 2000. No,
yeah, can you find this many comic shops and
within walking distance?
No, not at all. Nail shops, donut shops, sure. Not comic book shops.
Dollar Generals or churches if you're in the South, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, you can throw a rock from one church and find another in certain spots over here. Man, there's some towns over here where it's like, geez, church. And then, like I said, every plaza has a nail shop, has a donut shop, and all the stuff. Kind of makes you go, that's interesting. But yeah, comic book shops, no, they're few and far between.
Funny enough, my comic book shop that closed down in like 2019, it's the spot in the strip mall has been empty, and they've just opened up a coffee shop. There's part of me that just wants to walk into it and just go, do I feel the bones? Can
I smell the paper? Can I smell the pages?
Right. It's like, do I remember that the register was there?
Yeah.
The terrible bathroom was there.
Oh, yeah, I know. There's like when I lived over the hill, like over that way where I had a local, like this one dude opened a comic book shop. I talked about it before. This is when Rebirth was kicking in the gear.
Yeah.
So I was getting all my Rebirth books because I was like, you know what? I got a comic book shop right around the corner from my house. I'm gonna do that thing that I've never really done before, where I get to know the owner and I walk in and he's got my pull. What do they call it? The pull stack. Pull list. There you go. So I was like, I totally did that, and it was great. But yeah, that didn't last, sadly. And I've even been in that little plaza, and it's kind of funny because I don't know what it is now because I haven't looked. But it turned into a furniture store, and I'm like, how do you have a furniture store in such a small space?
Right, because let's also remember, with the exception of a couple of comic book stores in my life, they're never big.
Yeah, they're not big. So I was like, I don't know how. I was like, how is that even possible? I don't think it's a furniture store. I don't know what it is now, because there's like a brewery that's in the same plaza that I've gone to a couple times, but I just never checked. I'm like, what is that spot now? But then it's funny because the town I grew up in, they still have the comic book shop that's in a perfect location. It's in like the old downtown area, right on the corner of one of the like 2 main streets. It's in a perfect location, and it's like if you were to ever come here, I'm like, I took Phil when he came here. I was like,
that's where you picked up like Batman Resurrection.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, if you're gonna be here, let's go. I'll show you this one spot, and it's like cool because you walk in, it's fucking high ceilings and everything like that. Hey, one of my friends is out there. Yeah, what's going on, Christina? Good to see you. Yeah, yep. Talking about Redlands. She was at the little get together that we were at this weekend, and we were up till 2:00 in the morning. So good to see you, Christina. Still recovering. Just kidding. But good to see you. But yeah, so yeah, it's a cool little spot, man. We're going off on a lot of tangents here, but hey, it's an episode where it's, you know,
once again, we if you've been watching the DC Fan-imated stream long enough, when it's typically a finish episode,
yeah,
we generate. It's funny, the finish episodes become some of the longer episodes because we spend so much time on tangents.
Go off, because like when it comes to this one, it's like, yeah, we got a new Bang Baby, but he's not that
He's
not
Fat
that
Albert with Red Tornado's powers.
It's not that interesting. The core of the story is Richie and Verge, fighting, which is like, but it's so tropey.
It's so tropey, and once again, as I said, it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So the rest of it is just like, so of course they walk into one of the comic book stores and they have that flash of, oh yeah, well, let's forget that we're mad at each other.
Plant-Man, the new series from Denny Miller or whatever the hell they said. And like they're like, 4-part, and they started like nerding out, and then all of a sudden they remember, like, no, wait,
what, we're supposed to not like each other right now. And
even Daisy calls him out on it. It was like,
yes,
hey. They're like, just a minute, like don't you get your book? And he's like, I don't really want it. I'm like, she was like, just a minute ago you were nerding out like it was like the best thing ever. Buy your book. And I'm like, good on her. She called him out on his shit.
Daisy once again in this episode is like, she's almost like the audience going.
She is. Because she is. She totally is. so then Richie, of course, he left, and then all of a sudden they see a news report that Slipstream is like doing his thing again, and now is like he attacks like the news like copter and that whole thing, and then it's like, okay, so obviously Daisy and Verge run out, everybody's looking up, and then naturally Verge does the whole disappearing thing, and then she's like, well, where's Virgil? And whatever. And all of a sudden, hey. We get the theme music, which is pretty cool. And then it's like,
I always feel like instead of Static intervenes, we just got to start going,
hey. That's pretty much what it is now. So obviously Static does this thing where it's like, okay, so then he's going to be using his powers to, because obviously the helicopter is now falling down. It's going to end up falling down on people, and he uses as much as he can to prevent that from happening.
That was a cool use of his powers.
Yes,
because he generated a net, but the net, you could just, in my mind, it wasn't physical. It was more like it was a representation of the magnetism that he was generating to help like hold the helicopter up. And like I said, that was a cool. Because Richie's point at the beginning of the episode is that Virgil doesn't need to be a one-trick pony. Like, he needs to train because he needs to learn new and different things he can do with his powers.
Exactly.
Which, honestly, Richie has a point.
Yes, I think that's what they were trying to emphasize. It's like, hey, your buddy has a point of like the fact it's like you're gonna get sloppy with this stuff if you don't know how to like full on and finely tune your craft here. It's like you're gonna end up hurting somebody. Obviously he messed up that first time and and everything, but at least like Static prevented all that from happening, and he used his powers, and then all of a sudden it's like everybody's cheering, but Richie, they did that whole moment where it's like Richie just goes, "Meh," and then just walks off.
But they also made sure that Virgil acted especially showboaty.
Yes, he was very showboaty.
Yeah. So once again, everything in this episode has been because the plot needed it to be this way. Let's make sure it happens this way.
So they made a little too cocky when it came to the way he was pretty showboaty. And then we got the next day where Daisy again. Daisy, like, I mean, and like I like what you said. She is the audience, because she does try to mend. She walks out to where the lockers are, and is like, "Hey, Richie, I'm gonna go get my grub on over here, and if you want to go, and might be somebody else there, trying to mend."
But she does both things. Like, she mends, but she also calls them out on their shit.
Yes, that, which is great. And then she gets a call from Verge, who's like,
gotta cancel.
Gotta cancel, but he's like hanging off a fucking power line, and there's a bunch of wind, and he's in his costume, of course. So it's just like, that's an interesting. Well, obviously, I think he's using the telephone line. Is that what he was using?
I thought he was actually holding a phone. I thought.
I'm like, well, did he have a cell phone? I think he was holding on to that utility.
Okay, if that's the case, because I
think he jacked into the
telephone line. Well, you know what? With the episode with the kid, he jacked into the stereo system. So
I think now that I think about it, I was like, wait, was he holding a cell phone, or was he holding on to that utility pole because he was jacked into the telephone line.
line. Okay,
think
that's
that's what it
cool. If that's what
Okay.
happened,
I
will
think
be
that's what it
honest.
is.
I had to watch because of various reasons. I had to watch this episode on my phone today. So, it
I think that's why because I found it where I was like, okay, oh, maybe he's charging, and I was like, no, I think he jacked into the telephone line to call her. Ah, interesting. And
interesting.
okay, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, he's taking on Slipstream again, and then obviously when it comes to them fighting, there's like obviously when something happens, like and you knew it was going to happen. You knew it was going to get to a point where something was going to happen where Static was going to get drained. He was going to need a recharge, and I'm like,
but it was also funny is that it also was foreshadowed at the water park because Richie tells him if you get wet, you're going to short out.
Yeah.
And what happens? Slipstream basically dumps it at this lake. On top of Virgil, and he has a complete blowout.
Yes, just he's on the ground and just totally, totally blown out. And then we cut to Richie, who's at their HQ, and he finds the zap caps, and he's just going to be like, whatever, and he was just going to like put them away. But then he's like, no, I need to like go take the, because he's starting to feel like, hey, I need to help him.
Right.
Because something could happen. So I'm going to bring those to him. And then that's where we get, obviously Static going, no use, no juice, which good rhyming right there. Yes. I like it. But this is where we're going to chime into the clip right here. And when they're at the park, and Static is running away because obviously he's got no juice.
He's got no powers.
Yeah.
No use. No juice.
There you go.
There you go. And it was really funny because Richie comes like zooming in on an electric scooter.
And look at him. Marty McFly over here.
Well, and also, there was actually a part of me that went, they had those things back in 2000? Like, I don't think I realized that.
Better send it back.
Yeah, I don't know where he got that.
This, Slipstream.
And then he tries and fails.
Yeah. Of course, when I watched that, I thought all the zap caps blew up right there.
Yeah, of course.
Richie, over here.
And of course, he breaks his arm.
Yeah.
What's with your arm?
But then I didn't think about this.
Whoa. I'm so sorry, bro.
Not your fault.
Of course, they have their reunion.
I'm not the superhero on this team. I'm just.
They have to have their
realization that you're not the superhero. You're not, and then of course he's like, "I'm sorry."
Friends.
See, and now everything's better now because we're running. The episode runtime is running out.
It's not looking this way. Go.
Look at this. I mean, it's a lame villain.
It is a lame villain.
It's a really lame villain.
What's up?
What's up? Hey.
Yes, I think you do.
You better make a run for it. I'll be okay. Really.
But see,
got any more of those egg things on you?
Here we go.
Zap caps? Yeah, but Slipstream will never give you a chance to.
Yeah, where do those come from?
Oh, he just had some in his pocket. Why not? But then this is cool right here. It's like, wait, they don't have to just like grenades. They can
right?
With the recharge, if he has them in his jacket.
Stay back.
If he needs a quick recharge,
they're basically batteries.
Yeah.
Yo, Stat.
So that
You ready
kind
for a
of
trip to
that was cool. God, that cape was like what, a fur fucking.
I want it's like a towel.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
I mean, don't you also love the fact that Slipstream basically got his entire costume to be the Bang Baby Purple?
Freaking guys screaming like John McClane. And that's it. Took him down.
Hey guys.
And then
Richie,
now they're
what
all
happened to your
good.
arm?
swimming accident.
I told you, man.
Ha, ha,
When you
ha,
dive into
ha,
the
ha.
pool, make sure there's water in there.
Water.
What was I thinking?
What was I
Well,
thinking?
I'm glad to see you two back.
Once
Okay,
again,
she's
no
gonna end up
Frida.
figuring it out.
No Frida
Wanna
everywhere.
come along
Where
on
did
another
Frida
comic book run?
go?
Twice?
Where
Yeah.
where in the world is Frida?
Thanks anyway.
Because once
I know.
Daisy
Man,
shows up,
relax.
Frida
Don't
just
count
like
for some
way.
people's
Mm.
taste.
we don't even mention
You guys
her.
are really into that superhero stuff,
It's
aren't
like what
you?
happened?
She's gonna end
might
up
say
figuring
that.
that shit out, right?
She's got to.
I mean, we don't know because this is our first time watching all this stuff, but I have a feeling that Daisy's gonna end up figuring this out. And yeah, it almost seems like Frida, they're just like, nah, let's go a different direction. But I'm like, wait, you have
But both characters were in the comic, so it's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
it's kind of interesting. See, this is what's kind of cool, like the fact that we don't know
know.
where it's going to go. So it's like now we have the question, even though this episode was okay, it was fine, but now we're kind of going like, and my question is like, when does Daisy figure out their whole shtick that they're doing? Because she's
Exactly.
not a dumb. She's
She's not. She literally was
Very smart.
established as the smart kid.
she's
Like,
a
that's
smart kid.
literally
And
how
she
she was
even
established.
I mean, it almost seems like she was putting it together right there. She goes, "You guys are really into this superhero stuff, huh?" It almost like she was starting to figure it out already. But then it's like, yeah, where is Frida? It's kind of interesting. I didn't even think about that. I was like, yeah, we haven't really seen her in a bit, huh?
Not since she had the protest with the school newspaper and we had the blob monster. That was the last time we saw
right.
Frida.
Yeah. But yeah, there you go. Like I say, it's a very tropey episode. It's very like, okay, this is that episode that we have. Okay, it's fine. A lame bang baby. I think it's a very lame bang baby.
By the way, voice is someone we've encountered
Ooh.
before.
Ooh.
So the voice actor's name is Bumper Robinson.
That is a fucking name right there.
That isn't it. But dude, he's one of those, like we talk about a lot with these actors. One of those dude has been hustling and working. We've heard him before in Static Shock because in the first Meta Breed episode, remember Static's best friend who gets turned into a bang baby?
Mhm.
And he got named Destruct by the Meta Breed. Bumper Robinson was the voice of Destruct. He's also going to be the voice of another bang baby later on.
Oh wow.
You're watching Batman Caped Crusader. He's the voice of Lucius Fox.
Wow. So that makes sense. So he did, yeah, it said he's known for, he's done Cyborg for Justice League Doom. He's Dwight Conrad in Futurama.
He's
Yeah,
done
he's done a
Falcon and all of the Marvel
Bumblebee?
animated stuff. And
Wow.
the television show Transformers
Yes,
animated.
Bumblebee, right?
It was Bumblebee, and he
Yeah.
was also one of the jets. I think was it also Slipstream? Because there's Windbreak, because there's Starscream, Windbreaker, and because there's three jets. There's 3 jet Decepticons, and
he's done a ton of shit. Jeez.
oh, dude, live action and voice acting. I mean, the dude has, just look at his IMDb or his Wikipedia page. Boy's been working.
Yeah, like I said, he's Lucius Fox in Caped Crusader. And he's also like Goon 2, Mobster 1. It's like, yeah. Spidey and Friends. Jeez. He was a voice in Dune Awakening, that freaking video game. He was in Harley Quinn. Just as a random fucking, he was in Kite Man, hell yeah. An episode. He just does random shit.
But you know what random shit means?
Paycheck. It's just a paycheck. You go in, you work for a couple hours, you get a paycheck, and it's good. Yeah, he's done a ton of voice work, and again, that's awesome. I mean, voice work is good. So, but anyways, yeah, there's the episode. Like I said, it's kind of just like one of those where, it's fine.
It's an episode.
It's fine. Like I said, the things that I took from it was, well, don't take your sidekick, your chairman, the chair guy for granted. And now that he came up with something where if you need a quick charge, just freaking, but God knows if that's even going to come about.
I know, like, is this something that we're going to, but you know what? Like, because the static saucer stuck around, the walkie-talkie stuck around.
Yeah.
please let the zap cap stick around.
That makes sense because if he needs a quick charge, it's yeah, that's pretty cool. And then of course we got the, the whole charge up thing. We didn't get that the last time. Remember?
No, we didn't. Last
Yeah.
episode we were missing that.
And
one.
I was kind of wondering. I'm like, are we gonna get the specific the
360
360 like charge up thing? We got it right there, which made sense to put it right there. What do we got next week?
Okay, still with Static Shock.
Yep.
And the next episode is called Been Out of Shape. So
Oh.
I'm theorizing that we're probably going to see the return of Rubber Band Man. That's my guess.
Hence, yeah, that makes sense.
Once again, I know nothing. I didn't look at any thumbnails or anything. I'm purely basing that off of the title, thinking I think we're going to see the return of Rubber Band Man. So
it would make sense. So yeah, we'll be back here next Wednesday for that. How'd you feel about episode 2 of Lanterns? Yeah,
I know.
So
I had so much fun pointing things. It's one of those episodes that when you're watching it with a casual and you want to go like you're doing the Mogo doesn't socialize. I was like, oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And so we actually paused the episode for me to explain to my wife who Mogo was.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I didn't know about the Mogo doesn't socialize thing, but I knew what Mogo was, but I didn't know about the socialize thing. And then I remember I saw people posting about that, and then you sent me the comic book thing that literally
because
says
that's his origins. Like that's literally his first appearance.
Yeah.
By Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. Like it was a short story because then it was adapted into a segment of the animated film Green Lantern Emerald Knights, which is just
you were telling me about that, revisiting that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so but yeah, that was the title of the story was Mogo doesn't. So I love the fact that Hal has that as the code phrase to open up his pocket pocket universe locker.
That has the lantern in it.
Yeah,
that was cool too, of like seeing like he lives in a nice house, but he didn't furnish it. He just has like a little fold out chair like in front of a TV with a beer bottle that's of course sitting next to it, and then just a bed, and then there's
I would no something I was very happy with.
Okay.
Because I went a little comic book nerd and called bullshit on something, but then they made it a point in the episode. The phrase in TV is they hung a lantern on it. I'm not even being punny. That is literally the phrase that writers use when they do something and then they point at it to go, we know what we did. And it's called hanging a lantern on it.
Okay.
But when John makes the bird with the ring and then he takes the ring off and the bird stays there, and I'm sitting there going, bullshit. You take the ring off. The construct should, because like anytime you watch a Green Lantern animated thing or you read a comic, he takes the ring off and the costume goes away.
Yeah.
Because in those versions, the costume is a construct of the ring. So you take the ring off, the costume goes away. But then those aliens point out this is some big deal shit that you're maintaining a construct and you're not wearing the ring. And I went, oh, okay, so they know what they're doing.
Yes.
And it's not idiots who are like, this doesn't happen. It's like, no, they know it doesn't happen, so they're making a big deal about it. So I went, oh, cool.
And apparently people are pointing out that John has done that in the comics too, where it's like he's been able to hold constructs without the ring. And I was like, okay, I didn't know that stuff.
I know, I'll be honest, I didn't know that because my era of Green Lantern reading doesn't include a whole lot of John Stewart.
Yeah, and I think like the show is really emphasizing that he is special.
Yes.
I think that's like when people were making a big stink about like, why is his dad firing an apple off his head? That is fucked up. And I'm like, yeah, it's fucked up. But I'm like,
but you know what's teaching him?
Yeah.
No fear.
Yeah. And we have to realize, I think the next episode, if you saw the trailer, it's a John Stewart heavy episode where we're gonna get a Guardian showing up when he's a baby and telling his parents that he's gonna be like this fucking chosen one. Like there is something about.
How much do I bet that Guardian's gonna be Ganthet? I'm
okay. We'll see what happens next week.
Ganthet tends to be because he's the one who recruited Kyle Rayner, so he tends to be the rebellious.
Yeah,
the
I mean, we
rebellious
talked
guardian.
about that on the Vodka stream. There was like a rebellious one. Is that is there a female one?
There is a female one.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and then we were kind of talking about that too, but because obviously Laura Linney is a guardian that we find out, because everybody was kind of wondering who her character was. They thought maybe she was going to be Ferris, but we were kind of wondering. I'm wondering if, like, is she going to get mentioned? Is Carol going to get mentioned? Is there going to be some kind of mention of that? I mean, I'm sure it's coming, but yeah, no, this episode had a lot of lore. It was great because they kind of like they were not together, so they were doing their own thing. Obviously, Hal's like figuring out like, wait,
Yeah, I figured out the metal detector thing before.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I know, yeah. There's
yeah,
alien,
yeah.
and then there's alien technology, and then I'm like, and there's some weird shit going on there. Meanwhile, you got John who meets, I guess, Anton, the character Anton, which a lot of people are going, is he Atrocitus?
Right. That's the theory.
Yeah.
That's the online theory that he's Atrocitus.
Because he starts talking about manhunters and taking out a certain sector, and you have 48 hours. And if that doesn't happen, guess what? We're just going to destroy this fucking place to make sure because we don't know, there's a manhunter that is within this group. And of course, a lot of people are saying it's Zoe. I think that's too easy. There's a lot of people.
I think the manhunter's the benefactor, though.
Yeah. There's a benefactor for the ranch of what's his name? That
Macon.
Macon is like, it's like, yeah. So people are saying that. I think some people are saying that Zoe is Saranac, the Sinestro's daughter, which I think that would be a cool twist. Saranac. I think that's her name.
She's one of those. She's one of those that you never really know how to pronounce the words sometimes.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's a good theory. I'm like, if she's Sinestro's daughter, especially since we saw Sinestro at the end, which I thought was, when people were like wanting, hey, you wanted some fucking, cosmic shit. The suit, how you feeling about the suit? It's fine, right?
It's fine.
It's thrown. It's like, it's a little too shoulder, like the shoulders are really broad.
Oh, there's so much shoulder. Like,
there's a lot of shoulder, and it's interesting.
And that's always been my issue ever since the reveal of the suit was always too much shoulder. Yeah.
The thing I like about it is Kyle Chandler knows how to walk and strut in that fucking.
Yes, he does.
When he walks in, but I love how he takes off, because he takes off like a fucking fighter pilot. He's just boom like that. Like even when he was telling John, it's like
how to fly.
How to fly. It's like you just got to feel it, like you're taking off, and that's the way that I like that they have that approach of just him, because when he's like walks out in the suit and then he just takes those steps and then just goes off, I'm like, that just looks so fucking cool. I don't know, and then of course when he goes to, and that's not Oa that they're going to. There's no way.
No, that's not Oa.
No.
I did, however, like the way they also settling the dialogue, let you know, because once again, part of Jon Stewart's backstory is that he was a Marine sniper. And I like that thing goes, admiring his work, you sniper types. And I love that because have we heard that he's a sniper in the show yet, or was that their way of
like introducing
the concept that John was a sniper?
Yeah.
And
there's also the theory too that, because I mean, obviously it was like kind of in your face when. It's a little weird. I don't know. Sheriff Kane, obviously, she talks about she came from Gotham. Her last name's Kane. So you kind of start going, huh? And she even on the phone says, tell Barb I said hi. And I was like, huh? It's like she's sort of laying the ground with that. But then it's, and then when he wakes up in the hospital and like she's like, who's Sinestro? And then I immediately went, oh, I know how this episode's going to end. I was it's going to end with him going and fucking visiting Sinestro. And
but I found it funny that she was able to basically just do a Google search and like the internet has the entire history of Sinestro.
That was pretty funny. Yeah, that was pretty good. And but then that hospital had nobody in it.
Oh, super
little weird. Little weird.
It's
like the mystery of like, is this fucking place even real? Is there just a bunch of shapeshifters in this goddamn place? They were kind of emphasizing that he's looking at the list, only him is on it.
He's the only patient.
Yeah, they're really emphasizing that stuff.
I enjoyed the episode, and like I said, Heather continues as the as my anecdotal casual. Oh, she is.
Kyle Chandler is just so charming.
God, even when he's being an asshole.
Even
he's
being an asshole, it's like, were you talking about me?
I love the scene in the town hall
Yeah.
when the sheriff goes, honey, and they both go,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, he goes, yes. He's like, I was talking to my husband. He's like, oh, yeah, right. Like, yeah, he's got a crush on her for sure. But yeah, great stuff. Like I said, the next episode is going to be very Jon Stewart heavy, it looks like. So that's going to be cool to get more backstory on that. And it's going to like add some context to why his dad was so strict.
I also have I'm curious if the show's going to go here. So how much do you know about Manhunters?
I don't know a ton, but I know like what they are essentially.
Okay.
But I don't know a ton. I know I
might be dropping some spoiler stuff, but
go ahead. I don't care.
Yeah.
But
do you know the Guardians built them?
Yes.
Okay. That they were the precursors to the Green Lantern. Oh, if you watch the animated series,
yeah.
Like that was the
That's
whole
all
thing.
been shown right there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm really curious, like if they choose to include that in the show,
So cool.
like what kind of holy hellfire is going to rain down?
Well, we've seen some of those shots when you see like lasers coming down and Hal's like, putting like a dome over the fucking town.
And then also that clip that we see of Guy, when Guy shows up, he's going to be like, they're going to bring an army to end you. Like the idea is that Guy is probably like
scared shitless.
He's probably like the representative of the Guardians going, the bosses are saying to shut it down. Like,
yeah. That's going to be interesting too. When they jump back to modern day and we have John and Guy talking, I'm really curious about those scenes too.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like Guy thinks he's Batman. And he's got a fucking lantern signal. That's so funny. It's like, of course, Guy Gardner would have a lantern signal.
Well, I mean, come on, Guy Gardner or Batman have always had there's always the one punch moment from Justice League.
Of course, everybody loves the punch moment. Yeah. And it's gonna be. But yeah,
I'm still enjoying the show.
Yes, and when people like start complaining about stuff, I'm like, I mentioned this to somebody on Twitter. I was like, yeah, everybody wants instant gratification. They want the space opera right away. They just want the space opera, have it take place in space. Even Grant Morrison mentioned something, and it's like, you have to you can't just like go balls out like right in the beginning with this. You have to introduce them. If you want to introduce
in live action, I think they're because animated, like I still think First Flight as an animated film is fabulous because that thing is all in space.
Yes. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's animated. But if you're this is that Sunday night HBO show that people were like, oh yeah. And I think that's why it's resonating with a lot of people, why people are like going, okay, there's a superhero element, but there's also like this very adult, very, you got two
mystery,
you got mystery, you got two, charming actors that are like the lead, that are totally the opposite of each other. And you got this buddy cop, true detective vibe that's to it. That's why when I see like the people are just, they were like, why can't we just have like this automatic like space opera? I'm like, you can't have that at first. You just can't. You can't. There's no way. I think this was like.
But when the episode ends with Hal literally flying off to go visit a prison planet where Sinestro is.
With all, that's all the spacey stuff. And people were complaining that he didn't have the green aura around him, but yet when he went into space, you see the green aura, you see the little green, like obviously he had to do that to go out into space.
Right.
So it's like, but when he's on, Earth, he doesn't need it. I mean, just like we were talking about last time, like when he explained why he doesn't wear the suit all the time, it's like, because you want to impress people with the black, that's exactly. It made sense. Just like, when you saw the trailer, you see a news report and he's wearing the mask. You see him, like they show a still of him and he's in the suit and he's got the mask on. It's like, oh, there's a fully, with the mask and everything. But why would he wear that now?
Like one thing, like the only thing that annoys me is that I don't like the suit being an actual suit.
Yeah.
I personally prefer the idea that the suit is a construct of
I have
the
a
ring.
feeling that Jon Stewart's is not going to be a full-on suit. I hope, at least. I think, I mean, who knows, but at the same time, I'm hoping that his suit is like a full-on construct, like I think that's going to come from the ring.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyways, that's our Green Lanterns. That's our Lanterns portion of the. And movies. You seen any movies this weekend? Jesus Christ!
What am I not seeing? This
I know
weekend?
it's like there's like, oh man.
So I kind of already talked about it last week. By the way, I did not see Magic Faraway Tree this week. I was going to go see it on Monday, but then I ended up just staying around. There was so much stuff in the house that just needed to be worked on. And I saw my parents for the first time in a while, and they came over to help with some of the repairs. And we just had a good time sitting around and talking. And I just went,
that's always great.
Yeah. So I just went, nah, I'm not going to see it. And the movie's already gone now. So it'll be on streaming,
2 weeks.
2 weeks. But I am going to Coyote versus Acme tomorrow.
So am I. My dad and I were like he was like I asked him, like, hey, you gonna want to come to the movies tomorrow? And he goes, yeah, you pick the movie. And I was like, let's go see Coyote versus Acme. Come on. I want to see Dog Stars. I know it's not getting
that's the one. Well, one, I don't care. It's not.
Yeah, I don't care either.
I don't care either. Because other Ridley Scott movies. Did you see Steven's retweet of a guy talking about an interview where Ridley Scott defends his movie, The Counselor?
God, that movie, yeah.
I love that movie. I mean,
that movie was interesting. I need to revisit it. I rember watching.
And you need to get the unrated director's cut.
That's what I heard too. Is like you have to watch his cut, because I remember walking out of that movie going, I don't even really know what the fuck was going on in that. I know Cameron Diaz was doing some questionable things to a windshield. It's like, and I was like, and I couldn't even tell you what the plot of that movie was, but I needed to revisit that for sure.
Yeah, but you need to get the director's cut, because once again with Ridley Scott, you always need to watch the director's cut. But also, to the point in that interview that Steven shared, it's a Cormac McCarthy script. I mean, I love Cormac McCarthy.
What else has he done?
He's a novelist.
Okay,
he's a guy who wrote. He wrote No Country for Old Men. He wrote The Road. He wrote All the Pretty Horses.
Mm-hmm.
These are his books.
Yeah.
But he's also famous because he doesn't, except for periods, he doesn't use punctuation. And he doesn't use speaker tags.
Okay. Interesting.
So his books are
kind of difficult to read at first.
Yes. Audiobooks are great because you can just kind of, because it removes that barrier of, why the fuck are you using a comma? you know? Or somehow it's easier to understand the back and forth, when there's no speaker tags. But once again, No Country for Old Men, The Road.
Yeah, and I've heard his name, and I was like, I was trying to remember exactly.
He passed away He wrote The Road, and then won the Pulitzer for The Road, and then didn't release another book.
Is that the one with Viggo Mortensen?
The movie. Yes,
the movie is that.
The movie is the one with Viggo Mortensen. The book got famous because Oprah picked it for her book club, and then it won him the Pulitzer Prize. That was actually the first of his books that I read. The first movie adaptation of his work I saw was No Country for Old Men, the Coen brothers film, which is, after reading the book, you're just watching the book. It's crazy.
They did such a good job.
They did such a freaking good job on that movie that when I read the book, I'm just like, what? The
Coens knew exactly where they were.
The Coen, it's that meme of it's the same picture.
Yeah.
But I would heavily recommend reading The Road. Is a great first, if you want to get introduced to him, the easiest entry point is The Road.
Okay.
Depressing as fucking hell.
Oh yeah.
But a fabulous book.
Okay.
But then he died a few years ago, but actually The Road was the last novel he published because he wrote the screenplay for The Counselor. He wrote a play that they made an HBO movie out of with Tommy Lee Jones and Samuel L. Jackson called The Sunset Limited. That was really good. But then he released 2 books within a month of each other, and then he died 6 months after that.
Oh dang.
Yeah. But so I'm going to see Dog Stars. I just don't have my work schedule this week. I have tickets. I just don't know if it's a showtime. But it's like a 10:45, and you know how I've gotten old, and 10:45 is going to be kind of hard. And then Sunday, because literally there's only 3 showings a week, and I am going to go see Legend of the White Dragon, the Jason Frank movie. That's this weekend. It's like, literally, it's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's it.
And that's it. And they're all like at 7:15.
Of course.
So it's just like, that's not a good
That's so dumb
time for me.
Yeah. And then we got the Terminator 2 re-release. It's coming out. Yeah.
That's actually not playing in my area.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I got to figure that out because like my dad was asking me about it. I was like, oh shit. And then I was talking to Phil. He's like, I got my tickets. I was like, we got to figure that out. And I was talking to my brother. I'm like, we got to figure out, to go see that. So there's also that where it's like, I don't know. I'm hoping that it's going to be because my brother can't do it this weekend because he's like doing some shit. So it's like, I don't know how long it's supposed to be out. I think it's out for a week. So I think it might be 2 weekends. And I'm like, okay, if we don't do it this weekend.
Well, I don't know, because like I'm dealing with Dog Stars like I did with The End of Oak Street, where they're saying, see it in IMAX. And I'm like, my IMAX screen doesn't care. My IMAX screen is going to show Spider-Man: The Odyssey.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it doesn't matter.
Speaking of which, I got a movie today, finally, from Arrow 4K that I have never seen. And so I'm looking forward. Troy.
You have not seen Troy?
I've not seen Troy.
Wow. I'm very curious.
I know.
How you
4K includes one disc has the theatrical cut and one disc has the director's cut.
Ooh, interesting. I like Troy.
Yeah,
I really do like Troy. It is, obviously the backstory of that is just so kind of funny. I'm sure you've heard it.
Oh, of course. I've heard
yeah.
it,
Where who's the director again?
Wolfgang Peterson.
Wolfgang Peterson ended up getting that when Christopher Nolan wanted to do it. And then they're like, hey, you want to just do Batman? Sorry. Do you want Batman?
And then because of the success of Troy, that's how we got 300.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just like, it's just funny how, because he wanted to do that. Meanwhile, Wolfgang Peterson was trying to do a Batman
movie.
Superman movie where like it was so heavily in pre-production that
it's in I Am Legend. Like,
yeah. That the fact that Jude Law and Colin Farrell were basically cast as Superman and Batman. Jude Law was Superman and Colin Farrell was going to be Batman. And then it just all kind of fell apart. And then Wolfgang got Troy. And obviously Nolan wanted that. And then they're like, I'm sorry. Here, you want to do Batman? It's like, and that ended up working out. And then now we have Nolan's Odyssey that's over $1 billion. It's just like, it's crazy how it's like, it's almost like life was just like, no, Nolan, you're not ready to tackle this yet. You're not going to tackle this yet. You're going to tackle this 25 years from now, 30 years from now, 25 years, whatever. And you're going to nail it. And you're going to get probably nominated for all the awards and win a lot of them too, by the way. And you're going to make $1 billion. It's going to be your most profitable movie, by the way. Isn't that crazy?
It's fastest to $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's highest grossing.
Yeah.
The highest grossing R-rated movie of all time.
It just gets crazy. Like when people were doubting it, I remember I saw so many people.
There was so much doubt. And I am just loving this.
I was just sitting there going like, I literally had to push back on somebody that was saying like, oh, this is going to be an atrocity. This is going to be a bomb. I'm like, dude, it's not. Like, okay, it was one thing about saying some other movies like, Mandalorian and Grogu, Supergirl, fine. But this movie, are you actually saying that this is going to bomb? No, this is going to be a huge hit.
It made more money than Deadpool.
Yes. It's crazy. It's funny. It was like when I saw people like, because they were trying to do the woke factor with it. And I'm like, no, it's like you guys are overdoing it. And that's exactly what it was, because the whole Elliot Page thing, they said it was like, oh, playing Achilles. Nope.
No.
And only in 2 scenes, which were good scenes.
Great
and
scenes.
That was it. Great scenes. And then that was it. Played the character that needed to play, and nobody batted an eye. Same thing when it came to Helen of Troy. Scenes, not that many. And there you go. It was mainly about, so stupid. Anyways. Oh, people. Anyway, so that's what we're going to be seeing this weekend, guys.
But honestly, of all of them,
yeah,
Coyote versus Acme.
Oh, yeah.
That's my hype.
Support it. That's why, you know what? I mean, like I said, like when I was talking to my dad last week, I'm like, oh, we got to pick like which movie you want to watch because he wanted to see Dog Stars 2. But then I'm like, come on, we got to, I mean, I don't know Looney Tunes without my dad, showing us this shit. And then this is a movie this was a movie that was supposed to be shelved.
I know. You go see this movie if only to say "fuck you" to Zaslav.
Exactly.
I mean,
fucking Zazzy Pants was going to be like, "Fuck this," and I'm like, "This is part of your brand." When you think of
Warner Brothers,
logo,
you think of Looney
Tunes. How the hell are you going to just?
I mean, how many times did I start watching Batman the Animated Series and I see Bugs Bunny?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, come on, what are we doing? I mean, when they had in the mall, when they had the Warner Brothers stores, I mean, it was all fucking Bugs Bunny, Daffy. They were all throughout that.
And once again, I've always been a pro Coyote side.
Fuck yeah. I was always like,
that damn Roadrunner.
Yes. And when I told my dad the plot, he was like, that's funny. Because it's like, yeah. It's like, you know how, because I told him, I was like, you know how Wile E. Coyote is always trying to get the Roadrunner, and he's always using Acme products, and they never fucking work. He's suing him. It's like he's all, that's a funny idea. I'm like, yeah, that's hilarious. Isn't that great? He's suing
and I'm really looking forward to John Cena as the head of Acme. It's like, I thought I saw. I don't pay you to talk. To think you talk. I pay you to talk. So what did you talk?
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Foghorn Leghorn is like his like investor or whatever. He's like, like, of course, because he kind of plays like, oh yeah, he's like that character, yeah, he's like that rich like, kind of character that's in the toon world. Very curious about that. But yes, support the movie, guys. Support these, and hopefully, apparently it's already projecting to be Catch Up Entertainment, which bought the whole thing. It's supposed to be like their biggest movie. It's it's like supposed to be like 20 to 30 million domestic, which is good. Hopefully it gets more. But
it looks like to be like one of the best live action animated hybrid films since like Roger Rabbit.
And we haven't had that in so long. When was the last time that we've had something like that? I know they did like a one prior, and I can't remember who was in that. But that's the thing. It was like kind of forgettable. But yeah, I mean, just support it because, like I said, this was supposed to go on the shelf. It's supposed to be written off for tax purposes, but it is here. So, and if you posted that hashtag, then go fucking see it.
No. Then now you're morally obligated to go
see it. So, yeah. So go ahead. Yeah. Well, look forward to our reviews of that. I'll definitely be posting my. Oh yeah, Space Jam was kind of like. Space Jam 2 was shitty.
Space Jam wasn't my thing.
Yeah, so the first one was fine, but it was goofy. But the second one sucked.
See, I enjoyed the second one.
Did you?
I did.
I didn't like the second one.
So, but we didn't see it in theaters. We watched it.
I didn't either. I watched it on HBO.
HBO Max. Yeah.
But I liked the first one. I don't know. I thought, but the second one, I was like, I wasn't vibing with it. But anyways, go check it out, guys. And now we'll look forward to our reviews. You got anything else to plug, Scott?
I do plug. Still, Zoom finally sold on eBay. Hallelujah.
Nice.
I got some more. I got about 11 more figures currently posted. Would love to have, some nice homes for a character. I've got Vixen, Arrow, 2 Flashes, Hawk Girl, Canary, Supergirl, White Canary, Heat Wave. Oh, please give Heat Wave some love. No one is loving on Heat Wave right now. So I know. Check that out. And I'm doing a new digital movie giveaway.
Ooh.
You got through Saturday night. But
I think I retweeted this one. Yeah.
Yeah. I got yesterday the 4K Steelbook of the 1997 classic The Saint with Val Kilmer and Elizabeth Shue.
That's what it was. That's why I retweeted it, because I fucking love that movie.
I love that movie.
Dude.
I don't care what that is. A great
I
movie.
am so happy when I watched the Val doc. The reason why he turned down doing another Batman movie because he wanted to do The Saint, and I'm like, good fucking choice, man, because I fucking it's so good.
It's so good. So it's turns out when I went to go look, because it's Paramount, so it's not a Movies Anywhere movie. It's it's probably going to give you the option between Apple or Fandango at home. But I already owned it in 4K in both places. So I was like, well, I don't need the code. So once again, I always do a code giveaway because it's like, I already have this movie in this format. I don't need the code to upgrade my current one, or I don't need it to get a digital copy. So I'm giving it away.
Yeah.
Once again, like the tweet, retweet the tweet, be following my account. And so around Saturday night, going into Sunday, I'll choose and I'll announce the winner and I'll give away the code. But if y'all have not seen The Saint, or for some reason you haven't watched The Saint in a while, great movie. And now that it's remastered in 4K, hallelujah.
I mean, if you're a Val Kilmer fan, you see Val Kilmer in one of his, I think is like top 5.
One of his best roles.
Yes. Yeah. One of his top 5 roles, I would say, because he has to be in disguise, do different accents, and he's just he's charming. And then you got Elizabeth Shue. Come on. That's all I got to say is Elizabeth Shue. Come on. I mean, and then you got Russian villains and, that whole espionage and spy shit. It's the 90s version of that, which that's a great era for that kind of stuff right there.
Oh, the 90s
did great when it came to that stuff with like Mission Impossible and fucking 007 and yeah. So yeah, it was just like a good time, because I remember when The Saint was on HBO, I watched. It was like, oh shit, The Saint's on. Had it on. Who directed that? I can't remember who directed.
Oh God, who did direct this? Because the movie is upstairs. I'm gonna look this up.
Look it up real quick, because I was like, who did direct that? Was it somebody that was known?
No, Philip Noyce.
Philip Noyce, nah, but he did a good job.
He did a good job. Let's see, dude. Okay, The Bone Collector. Patriot Games.
Oh shit!
I know.
Oh, so he did those ones too.
He did those ones. I mean,
those. So he did 2 Jack Ryan.
He did the 2
the Harrison Ford
Jack Ryan movies. Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
The best Jack Ryan movies.
Bone Collector. That's the Jolie in Washington, right?
Yes, I love The Bone Collector.
That was a good movie. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has he done anything recently? Probably not.
Unfortunately, the
kind of
last
fell off.
Well, he did the 2014 adaptation of The Giver, which
that was a rough one.
I didn't even watch it because I love that book.
Yeah, I read that book in school, and I thought it was really like it actually. My curiosity was like, wow, this is interesting. This world, and there's the no color thing, and the way that this kind of dystopian kind of way of looking at. And it was, I still see the cover of that fucking book, by the way. It's like burning in my brain with the old guy, and it's all black and white. And then when I saw they were trying to make it too, because obviously they made that movie. Yeah, you said 2014, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was in the heart of, Divergent, Hunger Games, all those movies. So they were trying
the Y dystopian trend.
Yes. So they were trying to like, hey, we could do that with this. And then when I was watching it, I went, you have some of the concepts, but no. Yeah.
He also, his last movie he did was in 2023. And I've seen this movie. It's called Fast Charlie. It's Pierce Brosnan, Morena Baccarin, and I think the James Caan's last movie.
Oh, wow. I think I heard of it, actually. But I didn't see it. Oh, okay. Interesting. So anyways, there you go, guys. And like I said, next week, we'll be back here talking about Static Shock. What's the episode called again?
Bent Out of Shape.
Bent Out of Shape. So we'll be back here. And yeah, guys, we love you. Hit that like, thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you guys on the Vodka stream on Friday, which, of course, we'll get the panel talking about episode 2 of Lanterns and all our theories and everything. And all the other craziness that's going on when it comes to the comic book world, the movie world in general, all the things. All right, guys. Love you, and we'll talk to you later.